All right, well, we just got word from Tennessee Tractor what all's going to be involved in replacing this rear main seal on this engine. And unfortunately, repair and maintenance budget is already shot to hell for the year, and it's only February. The tech told me what all is involved in replacing this rear seal that we looked at is we got to pull the engine out just because there's not enough room to pull the flywheel back here, out through right here or back here. So I thought that was something I was wanting the dealership to handle because I don't have good luck with replacing seals. And after hearing that, I know I don't want to tackle that because we ain't got the equipment to pull that engine. So anyway, that's going to be the first order repair. Get this thing over to Tennessee Tractor where they can deal with that seal before everybody gets busy in the field. They can get to, they said that they can get it right in, get to working on it. So we're going to take it over there and then we'll start running the rest of our stuff through the shop and fixing the odds and ends on our tractors and stuff that we need to fix. All right, we just got the sprayer dropped off. Gonna be expecting a nice $4,000 to $5,000 bill in the mail whenever we come pick it up. But at least it ought to be fixed right. Let's get on back to the shop and start working on stuff we can actually fix ourselves.
Let's do it.
After you buckle up, that is.
Let's get some.
All right, we're starting out our repair work on the old 4440. Now, we're still waiting on parts to get in for Shoop for some of the more cosmetic things, but one thing we can go ahead and fix is our fuel injector return line. You can see we got these rubber T's on here, and anyway, this one back here is starting to leak pretty good, and we've had issues with these in the past. You see we put hose clamps on some of them to try and seal them up a little bit better, but I think it's probably about time to replace all these T's. So this entire line right here has got to come out, but in order to get it out, we got to pull all of our injector lines loose. I'm going to try and pull them loose as an assembly and just pull them out to where we can get this line out, because otherwise it's not going to come off the return part of the injectors. All right, we finally got our line out. Had to take all of our injector lines loose, but apparently after looking on JD Parts, these little rubber boot T's are not serviceable individually. It looks like we got to get the whole line. So running over to Tennessee Tractor, see what they got. Meantime, while Andy does that, we're going to get one of our blue tractors in here and get started working on that. But here in about 30 minutes, we got a special surprise showing up here at the farm. It'll be the last of my winter 2024 buying. Got some equipment showing up. All right, we got our biggest tractor project in here. We got a lot of stuff to do to this one. Apparently, Andy was pretty hard on it, using it on the bush hog last fall. We gotta get this bent back out. He halfway got the muffler straightened up, but we gotta straighten it back out. We got a broke off light. We got a broken cab shell up there, broken flasher, although I think I'm the one that did that when I was bush hogging. Yeah, that's why I don't like bush hogging with these new tractors. Limbs and stuff grab this stuff and tear it up. That's why we much rather use a 4440. Unfortunately, the transmission was down on it, but yeah, we definitely got some repair work to do to that. Also, the seat in here, the fabric is coming undone. These cushions are no longer available. The buddy seat here did the same thing, and we tried taking the cushion off, taking it to an upholster. They didn't do that good of a job. Plus, you can see the glue they used, it's already starting to break loose again. So anyway, there's a company in Jackson that reupholsters seats with leather that's very, very reasonable in price. I'm going to see if that's a project they want to tackle, but biggest thing I'm going to start working on is the hydraulic remotes here. These have always just been complete crap ever since I've owned the tractor, since it was brand new in 2007. The detents on the lever are gone. This is still a mechanical system, not electronic. And we can get flow both ways, but there's no detent to catch, and then it won't allow me to put the lever all the way into float. So I'm gonna disassemble this. Got rebuild kits for the detents. Never been inside one of these, so this ought to be a pretty good learning experience. Hopefully I don't screw it up. So I'm gonna start off by taking all this apart loose, get it over there on the bench and see what we're dealing with. Well, I just took another huge hit on corn marketing. If you remember from previous videos, you know, we delivered all of our corn and only about half of it was previously contracted, and I took a 70% advance on the rest of it, thinking that prices would rise after the first of the year, but prices have done nothing but go steadily down on the corn crop. So it finally corn prices finally dropped enough, and I was at the point on my contracts is I was either gonna have to roll them or price them out. And if I'd rolled them to the May futures, would have cost me about another 14 cents a bushel. So I told them I'm gonna cut my losses and be done with it, because this corn market has not done anything close to what I expected it to do. I took a big hit on last year's corn crop. I did a absolutely horrendous job of marketing this year, and after talking with quite a few other people, I'm definitely not the only one, but that doesn't make me feel any better. Not only is it going to really hurt our income, it's really going to hurt a landlord's income too. So definitely going to have to be a lot more conscientious this year on my corn marketing to take advantage of any pricing opportunities we might have, because it looks like it's going to be a tough year for the corn market. And I know we'll have some pricing opportunities. I just don't know what they'll be or when they'll be, but I'm really going to have to be careful this year not to repeat last year's mistakes. Uh-oh, Andy, I think I hear a truck rolling in. Let's see what Santa's dropping off today. That's right, we finally got us a dirt pan. It's not the size we wanted, but it'll get the job done, especially if I ever get a bigger tractor. Let us get it off the trailer and we'll give you a walk around. All right, guys, we finally got it off the trailer. The hitch that we put on our tractors, didn't have the bolt to come with it, and I've got to do some modifying on the hitch to shorten it up because the hydraulic hoses weren't long enough to reach. But anyway, we got it off of there using chain 3-point hitch. But anyway, what we got here is a Reynolds 17 CS12. This is a construction size dirt pan, 17 yard. Yes, I know I don't have a tractor big enough to pull a 17 yard pan, but this is what I could find for my price range. You know, we bid on that one at the auction earlier this year during the snowstorm, and you know, it went for $26,500. That's when I stopped bidding on it. Another guy took it, and every other thing I've seen online, dirt pans bringing anywhere from $2,000 to $2,500 a yard. If they're much cheaper than that, they're pretty much scrap. Look terrible, need new tires, pins, you know, had welding done all over them. So anyway, somebody online sent me a link to this one up here in the Boot Hill, Missouri. Went and looked at it, and yeah, I mean, the paint's not in great shape. I mean, the thing's 20-something years old, but it is straight. Pins have been reworked in it, got a good cutting blade on it. The hydraulic cylinders look like they've been recently packed. All the lines are in good shape. The tires are in fantastic shape. So really all it needs to make it look brand new is a sandblasting job and a paint job on it. But it's a dirt pan and I'm not worried about all that. So anyway, heck of a price on it that I thought. Paid $22,500 for the 17 yard pan. Comes out to a little over $1,300 a yard, which from everything I've seen last few years is very cheap. So we got a heck of a deal on it. Even though I don't have a tractor big enough to pull it to capacity, hopefully in the future I'll have the next series of tractor that will be able to pull it more effectively. As it is for now, I mean, we'll be able to pull it, we just won't be able to load it all the way up. But I was looking for somewhere around a 12 to 14 yard pan. So if I can fill this in 10 to 12 yards and dump it, I'll be just fine, and I think it'll do me a good job. Also gives me some options if there's anybody out there with a nice looking smaller pan that wants a bigger pan. You know, might look at trading them even or something like that. But I know it's a good pan. We just gonna have to get the equipment to pull it. If you remember a couple years ago when we had to borrow that pan from our neighbor, the Moores, we actually bought the drawbar off of them that we used pulling that pan. And when we pulled that pan a couple years ago, we had to just temporarily rig this one up, had to weld these side pieces on there to keep it from going side to side. But now that we're going to be running this pan full time, we're going to modify this drawbar. As it is, it's way too long. You see how far it's sticking out here, and that heavy pan, this thing's going to flex. These wedges right here really need to be up in here. So we're going to take it to the welding shop, have this thing shortened up, have another center hole drilled up here to where these are all the way up in here, and then, you know, our hookup is way on up in here. Oh, we got to find the correct bolt to go to it. So anyway, once we get that done, well, I'll be able to hook up to that thing and run it. This year's going to be a learning curve with it. Luckily, we don't have very much dirt work to do. Maybe a couple of days just filling in some washes and stuff. Definitely no big projects. So this year will be a good year to experiment with it. All right, we got our remote valve body off, and the mechanic tells me that this right here is the detent, and looking at the parts diagram, it's down in here somewhere. So got to take this off and pull this whole control rod out, and should be in there somewhere. Now, I've never been in one of these. I'm kind of nervous. No telling what kind of springs are going to pop out, or orifice is going to fall out, and I know there's a bunch of very intricate parts inside this valve body here. So I'm gonna start out, be very careful, pull these two screws out and just see what comes out, and hopefully stuff just doesn't go flying everywhere. All right, got the camera rolling, so if stuff pops out, it goes flying, I can watch the instant replay. There's a bunch of junk up in there. Well, I'd say that's why my detent's not working anymore. That looks pretty rough, don't it? That's most definitely the problem. Got some moisture and other crud up in there, and rusted and broke. Let me put this in the parts cleaner, let it soak a little bit, and we're gonna pull this other one apart too. Well, this one right here looks like it's definitely in better shape, but that still got a bunch of moisture and stuff in here, and this isn't working right. So take all this apart and give it a good clean it up, replace the detent part, and see if we get any better action on it. All right, got the new detent on. I'd say it looks a little bit better than the old one right here. So I got the new seals put in my valve body and everything, put all this back together, slap on the tractor, and see if my hydraulic levers work a little bit better. All right, Andy got our, well, didn't have to replace the line, found out John Deere did sell these little black rubber tees individually, so he got all those replaced. Got new clamps on there, getting everything buttoned up. Now all we gotta do is bleed our injector lines, and hopefully she'll start right up. Oh, Andy, you want to get it there in the tractor and make sure your fuel stop is pushed in, and just crank it over, and I'll tighten these up as fuel starts coming out of them. All right, we didn't get this tractor done because I went to go try and turn it over, and we lost electrical power in the cab. So trying to trace down what's wrong with there.
So we got 1 step forward and 2 steps back on this one.
Every day. All day, every day. And back here on the hydraulics, they're semi done. This top one right here works our blue remotes. See, we can get it in and out, but then watch when I hit this bottom one that's working correctly. You see how it just kind of springs? That's that detent working right, and if we get up there and move the lever in the cab, it would lock into detent. We can move this one back and forth with the lever, but it's so stiff up in there that the spring on the detent is not doing what it's supposed to do. But it is working, it is moving back and forth. I think our cable for this is stretched because we don't get the full movement on there. So maybe it'll loosen up in the future. I know we got one really good working remote now, which is really all we need on this tractor. And I mean, we can use this other one. We're just not going to have the detents on it. But like I said, we very rarely use the rear hydraulics anyway, and we almost never have to use both hydraulics. So that's good enough for now. We got more important stuff we got to work on tomorrow. All right, I think we finally got our electrical problem found. It's this solenoid or whatever had a bad connection there. You just cut the key switch on and see if our fan and stuff comes on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we got power. All right, now we are ready to bleed these fuel lines. So Andy, just crank it over, and I'm gonna watch and see when air starts coming out of these fuel lines and tighten them up. Go ahead. All right, hold up. All right, it looks like we got two of them here, this one and this one. Got fuel coming out. All right, Andy, hit again.
Oh.
Well, she run pretty good on only 2 cylinders. All right, see if she'll run good. Hopefully she'll be leak free. Oh yeah, burn like a kitchen. We get the air wide to blow, to eject that seal off, make sure we don't have any leaks. We do have one problem on this ejector right here. I think when we were breaking this loose and swiveling around, I think it cracked the neck right here where the return line goes on to. So I got this little piece out. I think it's cracked somewhere around the base because when I broke the injector line loose earlier, initially taking it off, it swiveled the injector around, and I think it cracked it right there, and that's where the leak was coming from. So we'll see if I can track down another one of these. Shame I had to take all this crap loose just to get this out. Meantime, Andy's been working on this loader tractor. You know, show what we've done so far. Oh, need my glasses.
Maybe a little bit.
Hey, we're doing a light upgrade on all our tractors, and he got started with this one right here. These grab rail lights, replacing them with the LEDs. These are the ones that we put on combine and cotton picker. All the rest of mine, I've got LED bulbs ordered, so this thing's gonna have full set of LEDs all the way around it whenever everything's said and done.
Gonna make the driving with the tent a whole lot easier.
Yeah, most definitely, and at night, especially loading litter at night like we're having to do now. We got the seat out because we're going to see about getting the seat cushions reupholstered. Hydraulics done. I still got to work on the fuel pump, and we still got to straighten up some stuff on the other side. And this tractor ought to be good for this season. At least once our lights come in. Don't think they're supposed to be in until tomorrow. Oh yeah, we got a tire that's started going down quicker and quicker. It was aired up yesterday, and it's already bulging. Take it to best one. We think it's leaking right here around the rim. A lot of odds and ends doing this. We had a leaking hydraulic hose that was leaking around the crimp. Andy's got that off. Going to go get a new end crimped on it, and then this tractor ought to be good to go.
Oh yeah, it'll be brand new by the time it's out of the shop.
All right, Andy, I'm hungry. It's lunchtime.
I'm starving.
I'm going to get something to eat. All right, now the belly's full. Indy's working on getting the cab shell done and a backlight and a couple other odds and ends on that tractor done. And then I'm going to take our seats, see if I can find somebody to reupholster them. The one that's really bad, the backrest, I mean, see, it's just come apart. This buddy seat, we actually had it re-glued last summer, and you can tell it's already coming back. So, plus this fabric's pretty nasty. So, we'll see if I can find some different options about making these seats look better. Well, good news, we're going to have some nice pleather seats in the tractor.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
They said they can put some leather in them?
Yeah, they can. Well, it's actually marine grade vinyl, but it felt like leather to me. So
it works. It's
yeah,
better than what it was.
about $450 what they going to charge to do those cushions, which I thought was very reasonable.
It's about right.
Yeah. Anyway, apparently while I was gone, we had a delivery. Our shoe parts showed up, so we can now pimp out our 4440.
Whoop, whoop.
So
Pimp edition badges on the side.
yeah. So I'll get the injector system done. You want to start installing some of our accessories here?
Sure do.
All right, we can't put on the exhaust stack yet because the clamp we needed for that is back ordered. But we can do all the stuff on the inside. Yeah, all of this it should be all of this weather stripping right here that goes around the door, and then on the inside of the door here, that's what it should replace. So just make sure we got the right thing and it fits before we pull all that off, and then we'll have to, where it's glues on, we'll have to take a wire brush on the drill and clean all that up, and it should have some adhesive on there and stick it back on there. All right, I just couldn't resist. I wonder if Dylan Joyce would approve. Yeah, she looks good up there, but yeah, we need that clamp, and so we can't install it yet. But whenever we get that back order clamp, that's gonna look sharp. All right, Andy, let's try it again. See if we can get these lines bled. Got that replaced. Go ahead. Keep on going. All right, turn it over. Blow all this fuel off, make sure she ain't leaking no more. All right, looks like everything's nice and dry this time. All right, it's about 6 o'clock on Friday. Tired of working on equipment. We're gonna call it a week. Be back in Monday.